The Rush is sponsored by State Farm.
Welcome to this week's episode of The Rush. As always, I'm Danny Fry. In this episode, we bring you football highlights against Springfield High, also the soccer thriller in their regional final against Jerseyville, and how the volleyball team performed during regionals. And as always, we have a whole lot more. But right now, let's get started. We bring in head coach Rourke, and you guys took on the Springfield High Senators, 5-3. They had a lot to play for. You guys are 6-2. How big of a game was it in Week 9?
It was a big game, and it was a real big game for them. I mean, they needed to solidify themselves in the playoffs. They weren't sure if they're to go in, and of course we wanted to get some momentum going into the playoffs. We just got beat by SHG in a tough game, and I think we had a little hangover from that, and,
sure.
and thought we were able to come out and win the ball game.
Well, let's go see how you guys did that against the Springfield High Senators, and this was back front at Memorial Stadium. And you're getting ready, get your guys ready into this one, and right off the bat, defense steps up. Tyler Brinkman, coach.
Tyler Brinkman makes a big play right here. Always need those turnovers on defense. And
that turnover on the ensuing drive, you guys tuck it off to Nathan Hack, was a nice compliment to Donovan Hammonds, and he's able to cruise in the end zone, 7-0 Tigers early.
Nathan, we need to get the ball to Nathan more. He had a really big game, made some big plays for us. This Saturday we're going to do that.
And now Springfield, though, they answered back with Brenton Wilkie, their quarterback to number 1. That's Blake Balster, or excuse me, that's Aaron Dalton Balster with the catch there.
Yeah, it was a nice catch. We just kind of blew that one.
And it was right there. We'd see him a little later. Springfield there, a little botch snap, which doesn't happen at all this year, coach. And Springfield gets it back, and this is not a replay. Another pass to Dalton Balster.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't cover that very well. We've been working on that this week. We better get it straight. The playoffs are going to, Coach John can raise a little cane on that one.
Yeah, but you guys really did tie it up on Wilkie throwing, and then Donovan Hammond, such a hard runner. He's going to be pushed out of bounds here, but sets up a great field position for Miles McAdams.
Donovan's tough runner.
And here's Miles. He's able to scamper from about 2 yards out, tied 14-14, but they had a running back, Malik Harrison.
Yeah, Malik is a very good player. We had him tackled in the backfield right there, and you let him go, and he's faster than anybody on the field, so you can't do that.
At halftime, 21-14 Senators, and this was right before half, though. Great route and Helm, just out of his reach.
Yeah, I talk to Miles all the time. He's trying to be too perfect.
Too perfect, but here are the Titans. You come out, and it's 21-20 at that point, and then that's 26-21, and then they go and get a 2-point conversion. And then Coach Onken is celebrating after we missed it, but Tyler Brinkman had a fumble return, didn't give up on the play, was able to return it, and then Springfield High scored, and it was 35-28, but then Nathan Hack, he seals the deal for you guys.
And the rest is history, and everybody goes home happy.
42-28 victory. Hammonds, 205 yards and a touchdown. Wilkie, 159 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Let's hear some post-game sound.
Came out and played horrible. That was probably the worst half of football we played, first half, and only down 7. So we're happy about that. But you're right. The coaches just looked at us really and said, "Really, come on, let's go," and we got it done.
We knew we had to make stops like we did second half of Griffin game, and I feel like we came out and did that.
This will be my 3rd time in it, and what I've learned is it does not matter who you're lining up against in playoffs. You got one chance, or you're going home. So we play hard no matter who is against us, and hopefully we got 5 more.
Also something we need to mention there, that win gave Miles McAdams, he's now the all-time winningest quarterback at Glenwood, and just describe coaching Miles throughout the years, starting as a sophomore with the state.
Miles, and everybody who knows Miles knows what a goofball he is, but when he gets on the football field, he gets pretty serious, and that's his 27th win. Good friend of mine, Griff Juergens, had that record, and now Miles was taking over for it, and a couple of great guys.
Yeah, and Miles, he said in that interview, we need 5 more, and one of those will come against Marion. You guys got a pretty good draw at 7-2. You guys get to host Marion Saturday at 2. And looking at Marion, I know they got a running back, Henry Jones, who's a stud, but who you're looking at to stop there for the Wildcats?
Well, number one, he's the guy. I mean, we got to stop him. They've got a pretty good quarterback who throws the ball. They got some guys who can catch it. They're 7-2 down in the
South 7
South 7 conference, and we're they're a tough draw. We're going to have to come out and play our tails off to get this win.
And how are you guys going to do? Who do you think will have to step up for this game for you guys? And you mentioned getting Nathan Hack the ball more.
You know, I'd like to see Nathan get the ball more and take some of that load off. You know, Tyler DeRocher is another one.
Oh, yeah.
I think defensively, defensively we need our guys to step up and shut these guys down. You know, they're a team that likes to possess the ball a lot and keep your offense on the field. I think, early on we need to come out and play hard. I'd like to really see our defense make a statement the first time they get out there. And, I think they're the ones that need to take care of us. If we're going to win a state championship, it's going to be with our defense. Our offense just needs to keep on doing what they're doing.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for coming on. And your team got a good draw for the IHSA playoffs, and they receive a number 4 seed, and they'll play at home tomorrow against that Marion Wildcats team at 2 o'clock. And now, have you ever wondered who are the Glenwood Chain Gang? Or when you go to South Park football games, who's handing you your nachos and how exactly they've helped the community? A few local guys have stepped out of the crowd, helping shape the Chatham Community Football League and how kids learn the fundamentals of football for nearly the past 2 decades. Their outreach started on one fateful day 19 years ago.
And my brother over there had a son that was getting into the CCFL back in '94, and he had asked me if I wanted to help out, and I said sure. So we went to a meeting, and we ended up being coaches and being on the board of directors, and we started doing the chain gang that year, and it all just fell together, and we just kept on doing it.
Mike Foz enjoyed teaching his son and other kids the game of football.
Watching him go through CCFL and then being on the high school field, and it just it's a dream come true to me. Just think that I helped him and a lot of other kids learn football. It's just a good feeling. One
of the ways Phil thinks the CCFL is fun is because he sees players develop over the years.
It's a lot of fun watching the kids develop into football players, bringing them from 2nd grade all the way up through high school. I mean, these kids, they change so much over the years, and you come out here and you see them playing in the CCFL, and they're trying to learn the fundamentals and everything, and then at the high school age, when they get up to the varsity, you see all that developed and see them out there playing and performing every week. It's just a lot of fun to watch them grow up and watch them go through all this.
Scott Kuntz met the Foz brothers 19 years ago and also decided to coach, and he's really happy with that decision.
You see these kids 10, 15 years later, and hey, coach, that's...
As a member of the chain gang, Scott Kuntz really got to bond with the Foz brothers.
They think I'm a Foz brother, and I'm not, but, that's okay. We get along. We've had our differences. We've had a lot of really good times together. Our kids grew up together. It's just a good group of guys,
Phil Foz can simply describe why he loves being on the chain gang.
Just a lot of fun. It's a lot of excitement. I mean, Friday Night Lights, baby, it doesn't get any better than that.
The 2012 CCFL season is now over, but make sure you look out for the Glenwood Charlie Browns tomorrow at the Marion playoff game at 2. Moving on to soccer, the Glenwood boys soccer team rolled over Bethalto 3-0 in the regional semifinal in Jacksonville last week. And last Saturday was the 1-2 seed matchup between the Titans and the Jerseyville Panthers for the regional title. And it was a thriller. Let's take a look at those highlights. Glenwood and Jerseyville, Jersey. Starts out here is Will Robertson. Direct kick for the Titans, and there's a save by the Jerseyville goalie, and we'll talk about the goalies a little later in this highlight. Here's Luke Rechtenwall, and now number 10, Brocktober, a sophomore, chasing it down, and is able to try to cross a little too much. That one off. Score still 0-0 in the first half. Here's senior Pat Flayhive, number 9, staying focused, boots it over to Isaac Albrecht, and Albrecht, upper 90s there, and he gets the goal. 1-0 Titans about halfway through the first half. And again, a give and go to Brocktober. He's tripped up and he's like, but sir, and gets no call. And then Nolan Mays, number 3, Titans had a lot of shots on goal. There's one that Will Robertson could not stuff in the goal. Still 1-0 Titans. At that point, a nice save by the Panthers goalkeeper. Here's a corner kick for the Titans, and the header rolls up, but a save by the Panthers defender. And now the Titans again trying to get something going to get a cushion. That kick would be good if we were playing soccer, but Flayhive's off there. Now we switch sides for the second half, 1-0 at halftime. And that one, a little too much cross on it to the right after the Glenwood attempt. And that one goes over, not a goal. Nice play by the Jerseyville defense. And now, how about some offense? They get it past Braden Hack and past John Schroll, the defender there for the Titans, and he was a little shaken up. And now we move on to penalty kicks. Two overtimes. Braden Hack did a great job. Luke Rechtenwald starts it out with a goal. Went through 2 overtimes, 1-1, and then in penalty kicks, Brocktober boots one through and able to stop him. There's Braden Hack with the winning save. The Titans celebrate. Titans win 3-2 in penalty kicks and go on to win 2-1 with that penalty kick victory. Albrecht had a goal. Rechtenwald had that goal in PKs.
Well, at the start, we wanted to keep it composed because we knew that they were going to be rushing towards us and they were going to be very quick. But unfortunately, we didn't keep our composure and we started playing into their game, which was not good. And we're unfortunate this game, but a big win, we pulled it out, and it was great.
Everybody's tired and everything, and I think our technical ability and our skill came through when we controlled the overtime periods, and we just wanted to be smart and not let them get a counterattack and get a chance to score.
I mean, I kind of just clear my mind. I try not to think about the score or the rest of the game because the previous 100 minutes that we played of soccer doesn't matter anymore.
Lost Wednesday night in the sectional semifinal against Marion over in Mattoon, 1-0, and their season is now over. But congrats on the guys on their regional title. Now let's take our first commercial break of the day. But up next, we have volleyball highlights in their regionals, cross country and tennis results, along with Eric's pigskin picks. Stay right there.
Kids, breakfast is ready. Eat up. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
Alright, see ya.
Wow, your dads are really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family.
On Monday, the Lady Titans volleyball team hosted regionals and took on the 5th-seeded Southeast Spartans. Let's see that 4-5 matchup here. Glenwood and South. This is Glenwood versus Quincy Notre Dame. Here's Glenwood versus Southeast. All righty, we'll start out. Here's a Glenwood serve to Southeast, and Southeast going to tap it over and return by Lauren Gregg. And Tosi Adeni, Titans started out slow here. That's a Southeast point, and Southeast played really tough. There's Hannah Phillips into the net. Another silly mistake by the Titans in the first, and the Southeast serve, and it's going to be spiked by Adeni, but Southeast, they're able to tap it back, and they were unrelentless. That surprises sophomore Ellie Alexander. Southeast wins the first set 25-23. On to game 2. This was a different story, but then Southeast gets a break. Denny blocks it, but still it goes over for the Southeast point, and a long serves. It's going to be pushed back, and returned by Lauren Gregg, and Katie Hudson now sets it up, and There's Hannah, or that's Sadie Stone, rather, with the kill. And this one goes long. Southeast able to track it down. And that one too long, another mistake, and the Titans win game number 2, force game number 3, and a serve by Greg of the Titans. But they're able to work it back, and here is Hannah Phillips with the kill and the point for the Titans. They dominated this third game. And here's a Southeast serve and tapped over by Adeniyi with the point. And here, Southeast up there, and what a mean block by Tosi Adeniyi. Mean blocks, been doing that all year for the Lady Titans. And this serve and another block. She had 2 blocks in this ball game. Just, man, and that one serve eventually goes long. Fans were happy with this performance as the Titans win. They lost the first half, but win 25-20, 25-7. Stone at 16 kills, and Allison Long at 23 assists. Now the ladies played their way into another win-or-go-home situation against the number 1 seeded team in the regional, defending state champion Quincy Notre Dame Lady Raiders. Let's see, Quincy take on the Titans. This is defending state champion, the Lady Raiders. That one too strong. Allison Long tried to bat it up, and here Sophie Lancer sets it up to Adeniyi, but it's into the net. And Lady Raiders were into this game at the start. That one able to tap over, though, for Ellie Alexander and the Titans. Again, she forces it over, and that one knocked into the net by the Lady Raiders. Okay, the Titans got some momentum going here in the first half. But nice tap past Sadie Stone. Point QND. There's another point. And then Stone, well, hey, I can do something here with the kill. And the Titans lost that first set, I believe by 10 points, 25-15. And on to game number 2. The Lady Raiders set it up into the net, but they didn't make really many mistakes. Brooke Bates cannot return that one back for the Titans. Really hard serves from QND. There's another one that the Titans cannot handle, and they're able to have a battle here with QND, but there's a nasty kill from QND, and there's another one that goes over. Titans can't even touch it. This one weird bounces off the net, and therefore QND with another kill. And they cruised 25-15, 25-9. Allison Long had 5 kills. His sister, Sammy Long, had 8 assists. Now, so the volleyball season is also over after the only senior Taylor Kopp got injured, and the juniors had plenty of playing time and should be well prepared for next season. Now let's take a look at how the Titan tennis players who qualified for state did up there by Chicago and Buffalo Grove. Catherine Ferris made to the 4th round, lost to a girl from Joliet West. Rachel Odom made to the 3rd round and lost to a girl from Yorkville. And the doubles team, Peyton Cole and Natalie Odom, made to the 3rd round, losing to a team from Olney. And congrats to the ladies on a stellar season. It's also postseason time for both the boys and girls cross-country teams, as last Saturday they headed into Jacksonville Community Park for a 2.9-mile course. Starting with the boys, Mark Maton was 2nd, losing to a kid from Jerseyville at a time of 14:58. Grant Kaiser 7th with a time of 15:28. Landon Skelly also. Now let's take a look how the girls did. And Lindsay Rogers, 17:52. She won this race. Cassidy Gardner and Kirsten Knight neck and neck, finishing 6th and 7th for the Lady Titans cross-country teams. And it's now NFL Pick'em time with NFL expert Eric Burklow. Once again, take a listen to Eric's perspective on this week's big games.
My name's Eric Burklow, and this is my Week 8 picks. Okay, I got the Rams versus Patriots, crazy game in London. Pats will win, and the Rams can't run the football, and their O-line is horrible. Bears versus Panthers, it's a road game for Carolina. I think Chicago will be tired from that Monday nighter. Panthers will have a quicker defense. I think they'll be on their game, so that's why I think they'll win. Giants at Cowboys. The Cowboys actually have beaten the Giants once, and it's in Dallas, so it'll be loud. The crowd noise will distract the offense. For my upset pick, I got the Saints over the Broncos. Drew Brees has been playing really good, amazing football, and Denver's been turning over the ball a lot lately, so that's why they're going to lose.
Now notice that Eric Burklow picked against my Bears again. Hopefully that will not come true. Go Bears against the Panthers, 1-5. So let's take our last commercial break of the day. Stay right there. We'll be right back to the top 3 and the weekly debate with Coach Butcher and Coach Crossland. Stay right there.
Kids, breakfast is ready. Eat up. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
Alright, see ya.
Wow, your dads are really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family.
Crusoe with the top 3 this week, and we are going to discuss the top 3 plays in Glenwood sports this week. And we got at number 3, we have some volleyball action versus Southeast, and Glenwood passes it to Sadie Stone to make the point for Glenwood. And at number 2, we have some football, and Nathan Hack gets the ball to make the 4th goal against Springfield. And at number 1, of course, it's the PKs in soccer as Braden Hack blocks the goal to win it for the Titans. All right, now we're going to head it over to Danny with the debate.
I should pay for my deductible?
Yourself there, but now I'm going to play Tony Reale on PTI and have one correction there. Nathan Hack, that was his first touchdown run that made it 7-0. But other than that, now we bring on Coach Butcher and Coach Crossland. Thanks for coming on and for the debate. And you're a Cubs fan, Coach Crossland.
I am.
You're a Cardinals fan.
Absolutely.
And just we'll talk about really what contributed. We'll start with you, Coach Crossland. What happened with the Cardinals and their collapse against the San Francisco Giants, 4-3?
I'm not even going to call it a collapse. I think that what we saw there was just statistical regression to the mean. Over 162 games, they averaged right about 4.5 runs a game. And throughout the playoffs, even after the cold streak there at the end, they averaged right about 4.5 runs per game. So they just weren't good enough to make it that far. It wasn't a collapse. That was just a better team winning.
Better team that I was talking with Coach Moomey, and really it was just a better team that, it was just their night. You can tell in Game 7, it was just their night. Pence and the broken bat hitting it 3 times. All the bounces, even last night in the Game 1 of the World Series, everything was going their way. But Coach Butcher, what do you think contributed to
I agree with Coach Crossland. I believe the Cardinals played just the way they played all year long. They were a streaky team, and unfortunately, the streak ended.
Streaky team, and a bullpen sort of was riding high in the NLDS and fell off the wagon there against the Giants, and everything was going the Giants' way.
Well, the starters fell apart too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the bullpen. The
starters.
starters.
3-4 straight great starts, and then he'll probably go to another team in the off season.
Very
Played
possible.
really well in his contract year though, and most players seem to do so. But now we'll move over to Chicago Bears, and you a Bears fan?
Oh, absolutely.
See, well, okay, 3 Bears fans here, and do you think that they're an NFC contender? They're rolling in right now, record of 5-1, and do you think their offense can keep this up throughout the season?
I think
defense too.
Yeah, defensively they're playing really well, obviously. I think if they want to be a real contender, they're going to have to start putting the offense together. I don't think, even as good as the defense is, you can't expect them to come up with 3 turnovers and a touchdown every game.
Like against the Cowboys and against the Lions, they had so many chances to put more points on the board, and they only ended up with 13. We'll go down to you, Coach.
Well, they say defense wins championships, and I absolutely agree with that. The bottom line is, if they don't score, we can't lose.
Good point right there. And if we get points off like Lance Briggs, who I think for a while has been the most underrated Bear player, or NFL player on defense for the Bears. And now move to college football, and Notre Dame, they've got their first 7-0 start since 2002, and I've been raised for not to like Notre Dame, but I'm Catholic but still don't like Notre Dame too much. And but the Fighting Irish, if they beat Oklahoma this Saturday, do you think they're right up to being one of the best teams in college football? They're number 5 right now.
One of the best, probably. Nobody's touching Alabama right now. Alabama's just getting to the meat of their schedule. You know, going to LSU next week. We'll kind of find out how good they are. But Alabama's a clear number 1. After that, I think Notre Dame's probably in that second group with Oregon and Florida and some teams like that.
I would definitely agree, and unlike you, Danny, I'm not a Notre Dame fan. I've never liked Notre Dame.
Oh, see, I don't like Notre Dame either, no.
I've never liked Notre Dame. No. I cheer against them every chance I get, unless it's against Michigan. And then it's a toss-up. I hope they both lose. But, you know, as far as what they're going to do, if just because they beat Oklahoma does not make them number 1 by any stretch, but it does put them in the top level, no question about it.
Yeah, and we'll move on to the last question now. Notably, Ozzie Guillen, White Sox manager for some time, and then hired by the Marlins, had his comments about Fidel Castro come out, and then he was supposed to be brought in there to draw fans in that new stadium, you know, Latin American manager. Backfired on him. He's ousted after 1 year there. Now, if you were an MLB GM, Coach Crossan, would you hire Ozzie Guillen?
If I was a GM and I was bored, maybe. If I had
It'd be interesting.
If I had a veteran team that could kind of handle him, I think he kind of beats down the younger players sometimes. But you got to remember, this guy, you know, he has won a World Series. He was successful in Chicago for a lot of his tenure there. So I think, you know, overall he's probably more of a headache than he's worth. But like I said, you're bored, you'd like some, you know, controversy to stir up things around the office, bring him in.
As long as they win, you know, I think it'd be fine if it would go down to Coach Butcher.
I would not hire Ozzie Guillen to be a dog catcher.
Okay.
I don't like him. I don't think he has a good personality. He's not a good person. And I just feel like if you are going to be in a position of authority, you should be a good person, number 1.
Because when he comes out with these opinionated thoughts, they're usually not nice-spirited. They're usually bringing people down.
They're not well thought out either.
Making people mad, too. Yeah, no, he just kind of goes up at the podium and whatever crosses his mind, goes out there and says. But thanks, guys, for coming on. A lot of fun here on The Debate. And now that's all we have for this episode of The Rush. Make sure to head out to the playoff football game tomorrow at 2 versus Marion. And head back home after the game. Turn on GCNN Channel 22 as Mason Byers and I have the call. Thanks for watching. We go.